A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. Pleading today will affect your immigration status. I need to know if you're on probation or parole because pleading today could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If I sentence you today on a criminal case, then you have to go down to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. Today, we're being tape recorded and videotaped. All right, we're going to start with the in custodies. Mr. Rivera. Daniel Rivera. Mr. Rivera, you are charged with marijuana, paraphernalia, and driving with no license. You've never had a license, and you've had a prior charge, so this is jail time, but you're already doing that. Mr. Stevenson, the state's recommendation?
Yes, for Mr. Rivera, we're seeking an adjudication of guilt, 90 days in Lake County Jail, concurrent with his order of commitment on 2011 MM 6136.
He has an order of commitment. I do not have that. It's a county charge? Circuit.
Mr. Sandor, please help
Your Honor,
me.
it's the exact same 3 charges as he's here for today.
Miss Angie, the order of commitment has already been served then?
Yeah.
And how many days is the order of commitment?
90.
Okay, so it looks like you're getting a deal. For the same 90 days, we'll take care of both cases.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, the state's recommendation is accepted. Rodney Bush Jr. Mr. Bush, you are charged with disorderly intoxication as a pedestrian. You have a $150 cash bond. Did you read the police report?
What's that?
Have you read the police report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You seem like a very nice guy today, so you're a person who should never consider.
Yes, ma'am.
I was in the middle of talking.
I was there when the whole thing happened.
Okay. You read the police report. It's hard for me to think of this being you, the way you're standing here so polite now. So you appear to be a person who should never, ever consume alcohol because it turns you into an ugly monster, apparently. Mr. Bush, if you plead today, we won't do any fine. We'll just see that you get some help. Is anyone in your family related to you, blood related to you, have a sugar problem, diabetes, hypoglycemia, or alcohol?
He's a good kid. He's a good father.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it runs in families. You need to get your blood sugar checked because you don't process alcohol the way some other people may process alcohol. So if you enter a no contest plea today, I would find you guilty. I would put you on 6 months probation. The special condition of probation is an alcohol evaluation and any treatment recommended. consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. We would want the SCRAM program for 30 days. And what the SCRAM is, it gets put on your ankle, and if you consume alcohol, it registers with the computer. And I want a visit to a medical doctor for blood sugar evaluation. All right, you can become diabetic without even realizing it. It can affect your vision, your fingers, your toes. So you need to talk to a doctor to make sure you get some help. Because if you don't get some help with the physical problem, you're not going to be able to resist the temptation to drink some more. All right, there will be no fine.
And Your Honor, you say there would be no fine, but I'm looking at this, and it looks like it would be rather expensive. So can we inform him of what the price tag is going to be?
I'm working on that here. You have a $150 cash bond. That $150 will go towards your mandatory costs. If you played today, you have to go down to room 105 and sign up for the mandatory costs. They are going to be close to $300. So half of that will be paid. You'll have to sign up for the payment plan and pay the other half. All right. Do we have a deal? Okay.
And I guess more my concern was, how much does the SCRAM monitor cost?
Oh, that's another good point. I think they said it was $12 a day.
Right. So, in fact, we are asking for a $360 layout in order to do this.
Okay. The SCRAM monitor costs, I think it's $12 a day. So this is very expensive.
Okay.
And you can get off of probation as soon as you finish everything. All right, and we'll say evaluate to see if they can reduce your probation fees. All right, I wish you luck, Mr. Bush. I hope this is the last run-in with alcohol you ever have in your whole life. Who put up the cash bond?
She did. My stepmom.
Thank you. Annabal Castro. Good morning, Mr. Castro. You are charged with driving while license suspended. You had one 4 years ago. So you're still within that 5-year period. You're suspended. You've been suspended since January for not paying a ticket in Dade County.
I explain you the process. All right. The first week of this January, I moved to another house. So I didn't realize what they sent.
Do you speak Spanish,
You don't understand me? Okay.
Miss Annie?
Ya. Me mudé a otra casa el mes de enero, la primera semana como el 16.
I moved to a new house in January on
empecé-
the 16th.
Empecé a vivir ahí y
I
no.
started living there.
I didn't realize when they said cuando mandaron la comunicación. No me di cuenta cuando mandaron la comunicación.
And I did not notice when they sent the communication
I was
papers.
surprised.
Miss Annie, does he have a valid driver's license now?
¿Tiene licencia de conducir
No,
válida ahora?
they took it over.
They took it because it was not valid. It was
Right.
suspended because you didn't pay a ticket.
In order to get the clearance, I'm going to be paying the fine.
You have to pay the fine, and they'll give you a clearance paper.
Yes.
You have to take the clearance paper to the driver's license
Driver's
department and get a new card.
Está bien,
Yeah.
muy bien.
Perfecto. That's it.
All right, but here, you're here today because you drove when your license was suspended for not paying that ticket.
Efectivamente, se manejó.
Sí, pero no perfecto. Vamos. Sí, saber.
But I did not know about it.
How could you not know that you did not pay a ticket?
Because I'm diabetic, and sometimes I suffer of, different phases of stress and things like that. And probably on the moving to the other house, I forgot completely.
All right, Mr. Stevenson, what is your offer?
Yes,
Indiana?
Your Honor, for the charge of driving with a suspended license, the state is seeking an adjudication of guilt, so it would be on his record that he drove on a suspended license. We're looking for 29 days in Lake County Jail suspended. In other words, if you don't do what we're asking for, we put you in jail for 29 days. But if you do what we're asking for, never mind that. Here's what we're asking for. $250 fine and no new crimes for the next 6 months. And if he gets a valid driver's license, we'll knock that down to $150.
We'll write it down,
All right, perfect.
and he needs to be printed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gloria?
todo bien. All right?
Mr. Castro, how will you get home?
I have to drive. Come here, please. Have him come in?
Excellent. That's all right, that's excellent. Thank you for arranging.
Show me from Miami.
Thank you. Daniel Williamson, please. Mr. Williamson, you're suspended from Indiana, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a felony pending. Next week, you go to court.
I was supposed to meet my public defender today.
Well, I think you go to court next week.
I was
And this is, what?
talked to my public defender today at 9, but then I got pulled over and they told me my license is suspended. So
Well, if you live in Florida, excuse me,
I live in Florida though.
you don't?
No, I just come down here to visit.
I have a letter from the police department saying there's an oops.
It was whether or not he was going to have to appear in court, some mix-ups about it being mandatory under the statute number versus a fine.
Okay, so it is correctly charged as a driving while license suspended. Okay, and he's here. All right, if you plead to this driving while license suspended, we'll tell you what the offer is, but they may be revoking your bond on the felony.
Really?
Because you got a new law violation.
Well, I mean, I didn't know because I had this test to take for my license and it was still processing.
Okay, show the prosecutor what you've got in your hand.
I called yesterday and it finally went through.
Well, Your Honor, it looks to me like whatever he's giving us was done on August 30th. When was this event that we're talking about?
August 20th.
So in other words, if he's gotten his license taken care of, that's fantastic, but it doesn't really affect the charge in front of us.
What was he suspended for out of Indiana?
I didn't provide proof of insurance, so I had to take a driver safety program, and then I took that before I even come down here.
But once they suspend you for not having insurance, you have to reinstate.
Yeah, I done paid all the reinstatement fees, sent him an SR50 form, and the last thing was the class.
But you didn't take care of that until after you were stopped here.
No, it was already taken care of, but they didn't get it because
Okay, you still don't have a valid license.
Yes, I do now.
You have a valid Indiana license.
Well, it's valid, but I don't have the card.
Does that paperwork say it's valid?
No, Your Honor, this is proof of completion of the driving course he was talking about, not with...
I don't know how it could be valid if you don't.
Because, if I was...
Okay, I'm going to have Deputy Endahar run it and see if it is valid in Indiana. Deputy Endahar, as soon as you're through, could you run this to see if he's valid in Indiana? Have a seat at the table, please. Gloria Lynn Brown to the microphone. Ms. Brown, you are charged with a shoplifting charge. You're on pretrial intervention in felony court. This will violate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Not a good thing. Have you been violated yet in felony court?
Yeah. Actually, the bathing suit I was bringing back because it was 2 different sizes on the hanger, and I was bringing that back to swap it for the same size. And the other bag of stuff, I do not know where that came from, whether somebody pushed their car.
Right, except they watched you do this. Robin McDonald said she observed a white female, Gloria Brown, inside Walmart in the ladies' wear section. She watched Brown put a bathing suit into a Walmart bag that she had sitting in the child's seat portion of her shopping cart. Brown then made her way to the grocery section where she selected one bag of Lay's potato chips, 9 Kit Kat bars, and 1 freezer bag. McDonald observed Brown conceal the freezer bag, Kit Kat bars, and bag of chips in the same Walmart bag that contained the bathing suit. McDonald stated that Brown selected several other food items in the grocery section, which she purchased at cash register 4. She made no attempt to pay for the items concealed in the bag sitting in the child seat portion of her shopping cart.
Well,
Okay, this is not the time for the trial. If you wish to plead today, what's the recommendation from the state?
20 days in jail, Your Honor, plus an adjudication of guilt.
So if you plead today, it's 20 days in jail. After today, it can be up to, if this is a,
260.
I think up to 60 days on this one. Your bond may be revoked on the felony. She's on felony pretrial intervention for a theft charge.
It's not an adjudication yet, so this wouldn't be an M1 yet.
Okay, and will her bond be revoked then on the PTI? All right, Ms. Brown, do you want the public defender on this case? Do you want to plead to the jail time today?
is there any way I can do the jail time at home? I have a lot of disabilities that.
Well, you're not so disabled that you can't go to Walmart to shop, so I would say at this point, no.
Well, then I'm gonna have to get a public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. There'll be a $250 minimum charge for their services, and you're looking at up to 60 days in jail on this one. And your pretrial intervention on the felony will be revoked, and you're looking at up to a year on that one. All right, I've appointed the public defender. You'll need to go make an appointment. How'd you get here today?
I drove.
Okay. Public defender, you'll explain to her how to get there. Robert Bates, please. Mr. Bates, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Do you have a valid driver's license now?
No, I do not.
Thank you for dressing so respectfully for the court.
Yes, ma'am.
You were suspended for not paying a Lake County ticket and not paying an Osceola County ticket. You've had a prior driving while license suspended in Seminole County, but that's just outside 5 years. So this would be your first within 5 years. And why haven't you fixed it?
All right, this is what happened. In Lake County, I got a ticket a while back, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. It should show in your records. I paid the ticket, and I spoke with them here at the courthouse, and I asked the people, because I was new to the county, is there anything else I need to do to get my license? She said, no, just carry this pink piece of paper with you for 6 months, which is the same thing they do in New York, and you're good to go. After that, you don't have to carry it anymore. So that was obviously a while ago. I stopped carrying it. I got pulled over.
Hey, Tallahassee sent you a letter a year and a half ago, telling you you would be suspended for paying that ticket late.
Never received that letter, ma'am.
Do you live on DeSoto Street?
Yes, I do.
Well, they sent the letter. Then they sent you another letter, November of last year, saying you'd be suspended for not paying the Osceola County ticket.
I don't even know of an Osceola County ticket for myself.
Well, you got one. And it was due in November of last year.
Does it say where it's from? Because
Osceola,
I know, like where the ticket was issued.
March 27th of last year. You never paid it. You've got a late fee on it now, and they've sent it to collections. You owe $358.75.
I don't know that.
What?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what that ticket's from. I don't remember.
All right, it's from State Road 50 and East Avenue in Claremont.
Oh, that's right by my house. I know what ticket that is. I should have taken care of that one already. It should have been paid. That's the one I'm
We
talking
are
about.
all in agreement that you should have.
No, obviously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. What I'm saying is, I thought that the ticket was taken care of already for that exact instance. The officer, that night, I explained the situation to him, and he handed me back my license again. My license was taken again. My license was taken from me.
Mr.
only-
Bates, here's a copy of the ticket. Look at it. You signed it. It's not paid. You're suspended for not paying that ticket that's in your hand.
I must have just not have paid it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't realize I didn't pay it.
This is the reason you're suspended,
Okay.
and they sent you a letter. They sent it to apparently the correct address, so I don't know any reason why you wouldn't have gotten it.
I live in a
And-
duplex.
I'm his wife.
Uh-huh.
We live in a duplex. Occasionally the mail goes to the wrong person.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law was staying with us for a while, and she may have received it and not given it.
Well, twice, that happened twice, that's,
I don't know why, Your Honor. I
Okay,
did have some
Mr.
problems with
Bates.
my mail as well. with my
Mr.
rent.
Bates.
Yes, ma'am.
Tired of listening to the excuses. You were driving while your license was suspended out of Lake and out of Osceola for not paying a ticket in Lake, not paying a ticket in Osceola. It's your second time getting this charge. State, what's the recommendation?
We're seeking 5 days in jail, Your Honor, and adjudication of guilt.
Why jail?
So the ticket he didn't pay out of Osceola County is a civil duelist.
No way. You got a driving while license suspended in Osceola County last year,
Okay.
and you were suspended then, still because of the Lake County ticket. You haven't fixed the Lake County ticket, and then you got the Osceola driving while license suspended, and then you didn't pay that one.
Although, Your Honor, we're a little curious. We're not seeing a driving while license suspended on his
That's what I'm saying.
driving record.
I shouldn't have it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you before, Your Honor. If you give me just 1 second to explain.
He has a driving while license suspended out of Seminole County in '06.
That's the
and
ticket
then-
that I was trying to explain to you that I had tried to take care of, and they told me that it was taken
It's
care
not relevant. You're not suspended for that
Okay, I
Seminole
understand.
County ticket. So
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
the only thing that matters is because you have a prior, they want you to go to jail. That matters. But as to being suspended, you're suspended for this Lake County ticket. You
Okay.
didn't pay it.
Okay, I-
Then you got stopped in Osceola County, and they gave you a driving while license suspended. You were suspended because you haven't paid this. And then you didn't pay the Osceola ticket. So now you're suspended for both reasons, not paying this one and not paying the driving while license suspended in Osceola. Still a question, Mr. Stevenson?
Yeah, do you have his driving record there?
Yes?
Do you see a 2011 driving while license suspended from Osceola County on it?
No, you all just told me that's what that was.
I know, we just thought it was kind of odd that he,
It's not on there because he hasn't taken care of it yet, so it just says suspended for not paying a traffic fine.
okay.
So until he pays it, it won't say what it is.
All right. Well, then I guess he's free to plead not guilty if he wants to talk to a lawyer or take the.
5 days in jail
5 days in jail.
for driving a second time on the same suspension.
I'm the sole supporter for my 4 children, and my wife cannot work right now, and I just had a newborn baby. Is there anything else that can be done for it? I mean, I'm the only one
Yes,
who
you
works.
could have fixed your license and not driven twice on the suspension. But that didn't happen. You drove twice on the same suspension and it's still not fixed. It's 5 days.
Well, Your Honor, how about this? If he were able to get a valid license, we'd be amenable to a weekend work program situation.
How would I go about doing that, though? That's what I don't understand. With different tickets that are issued, is there something I have to pay, like fine-wise, or so I have to pay?
Okay, Mr. Bates.
I'm just not understanding.
Go
Your
sit
Honor.
down because you have
I'm not
some.
understanding what I have to do to get my
Go
license
sit
back,
down.
is what he's
Go
saying.
sit down. Go sit down. Robert Bates.
Robert Bates should come on
Mr.
up.
Bates is here with his significant other and the baby?
I think with Mr. Bates, the situation was where we.
I remember this one.
Right now, we're asking for an adjudication of guilt in 5 days in Lake County Jail. If he could get his license back in order, we would be willing to make that 3 weekends of the weekend work program. And I think what he was trying to find out is how he then gets his license back in order.
And it's 5 days, it's the weekend, you're willing to offer the weekend work program if
Weekend
he's...
work program if he gets his license taken care of, simply
All right.
because I like to give people an incentive to get their
Hey,
license taken care
Mr.
of.
Bates, if you waive speedy trial, I'll continue it for a month, and you need to come in here with a valid driver's license.
I don't think there's any way that I'll be able to do it in a month, Your Honor. Like I said before, I'm the sole provider for 4 children, and my wife can't work.
Your Honor, would 2 months do it?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm the wife. I'm on maternity leave. I will be back to work at the end of this month. You can just have a little bit longer for me to go back to work.
That's all I'm asking.
To take what we need to take.
All right, we'll continue this for 2 months, which takes us to November 7th, 2012, 8 a.m. The state may be recommending the weekend work program at that time. I think 5 days straight makes more sense in your case. The weekend work program costs $20 a day, and then you have to have transportation here from, I guess you live in Claremont now? All right, I will continue it for 2 months. Just understand you may be looking at jail time when you come back.
I understand, Your Honor.
Here's his
And again, I'm sorry
paperwork.
about earlier.
Daniel Williamson? Are you Mr. Williamson? Well, we'll just all wait patiently while you mosey on up to the microphone. Okay, we were looking at, this is the one from Indiana? And Deputy Indahar ran it, and now he's not here.
Deputy Indahar.
Oh, he left a note, yay. Okay, you are still suspended out of Indiana.
Could it be from when I get pulled over?
You're still suspended in Indiana.
All right.
So, you're not allowed to be driving in Florida. Plus, this says you live in Leesburg now.
That's where I've been staying at. Because I was only down here, originally I was going to visit for a month, and then the felony thing happened, so now I've been here ever since then.
The felony thing.
Yeah.
Felony thing happened. What's that?
He has an open felony for drugs, Your Honor.
Okay, so this could revoke his bond. Did we have that conversation already? All right, the felony case, your bond could be revoked because of this new charge. And what's the state recommending on this charge?
Your Honor, the state is seeking an adjudication of guilt, 29 days in the Lake County Jail suspended if within the next 6 months, Mr. Williamson will pay $200 and commit no new crimes.
All right, that's a pretty standard offer for someone who's driving on a suspended license. We ran it, it's still suspended, you shouldn't have been driving. You can't drive anywhere in the United States at this point because you're suspended. And there's no way you can fix it because you have to stick around here for the felony charge now. So are you accepting the state's offer, understanding that they can use this against you to revoke your bond on the felony? Or do you want to talk to, you have the public defender on the other one?
Yeah, I was supposed to meet him at...
Oh, that's right, you told me at 9 o'clock. All right, let's appoint the public defender on this one to see if they can work out a package deal.
All right.
All right, PD appointed on this.